to the lift. Are we? Yes, we are in a lift. We're in a lift. I've like not even set the camera up and got settled because we're both like on a roll down the street having a rant. And what are we ranting about today? Check out Mushy's like nice new jacket.
Very nice. I'm like a lumberjack. I'm going to go into the woods and going to cut some trees down. That's what lumberjacks do.
It's Andrew's birthday tomorrow, people. Whoop whoop! Happy birthday, Andrew Chappelle. What
Thank
great
you.
age are you going to be this year?
33.
33.
33.
So we're going in, and we're going to talk to you guys. Welcome to our humble abode. We're going to talk to you guys today about generalization and what that means. And yeah, gonna take a breather, get a coffee, sit down, make ourselves comfortable and tune in. It's Pro Prep in the house.
We're in, right? Can we see me?
I think so, hang on.
We're in.
Notice a slight hair change. Steph's tried to make herself look a little bit more kind of respectable. It's like a do. So we're in. It's Pro Prep. Welcome back to the channel. It's 2020 and we are both a little bit more chunky.
Say that again.
That'll do. That'll do for the gun show. It is Saturday, so we are entitled to a gun show on a Saturday, right? Or is it Friday? I don't know.
I think so.
Andrew Chappelle, Steph Noble, most of you guys know us that tune in now because we're building up a nice little crew of y'all. But anybody who's new to the channel, go check out our videos. We do lots of different stuff on bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding, health, fitness, well-being, psychological effects of prepping, which we're probably going to touch on today, and just a whole ton of stuff. And we're going to introduce loads more content this year. So please do click and subscribe and check us out.
Excellent. Also check out our website, www.propepcoaching.com. Great. So let's get into this, right?
So,
first and foremost,
yeah.
Like I said, this is going to be a rant, right? And I think what this is a rant about is contest prep, right? Or even dieting in general, right? Here's the thing, right? We've been doing this a long time, right? And when we scroll through our news feeds and we come across stuff and then you read posts and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, like what are you even saying? Like you've just got no context around anything that you're putting out there. Why would you expect that everyone would be feeling exactly the same as you on this? And why would you give out advice like you're giving out? Because it's, in my opinion, lacks intelligence and it can be actually quite damaging to your potential clients. So what are we talking about, Steph?
Okay, so, right, we've just been pelting along the road and we've been speaking a bit about the different types of people that come into bodybuilding or come into the sport or just people in general. We're all different beings. We might all be human beings, but we're all differently wired. We deal with circumstances differently. We might react and respond differently, etc.
Yeah, and our whole life experiences will contribute to those things as well. So let's get into that.
Yeah, so to cut straight to the chase, we've read a post today where this person has said quite clearly what they will expect to happen in a prep and what will be a necessity in prep. Yep, expect
it's
and
embarrassing.
Necessary, right? So this is somebody who's basically, from their own experience, bottling that their experience is the only experience that a person will have, and then selling almost that experience as if you are not feeling or experiencing these certain things, then you're not gonna get in shape. You're just not.
So the thing is, it's like when you get ready for a contest, you will suffer. It'll be absolute hell, and it's the only way to get into this condition is you expect that you'll have absolutely no energy in this. It'll affect your relationships. You'll not be able to go to work properly. You're going to struggle to breathe. You're not going to be wanting to be able to get out of bed. But this is what you have to do to make these sacrifices to get in here. And if you're not feeling like that, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And this quote unquote was, this is what I tell my clients before they even start.
I'm like, you're doing a bodybuilding contest. You're not going to war.
Yeah, and we've all heard people talk about the it's not war, it's not this. But let's actually take a fucking real serious look at this, yeah? planting a seed in your client's head before they even start that this is going to be affecting your job, affecting your mental health. If you're not struggling, then, and you're not dealing with it, then you're weak, is essentially what they're saying, right? And all these other things mixed in. Two things are going on there. One, you think you're helping the person before they've even made up their own mind about prep and how to deal with it, by preempting the set of circumstances that they're going to feel, right? So you, as the coach, are thinking, I'm going to give them this awareness because then they'll go into this knowing exactly what's going to happen.
And there's some value in that.
And there is some value in that.
So that should not be lost in this,
But the second thing to that is you're also planting really negative seeds in your client's head, but you're also inflicting your set of circumstances on this person, expecting them to feel that way. And whether you want to hear this or not, you're psychologically impacting them before they've even started.
So for example, if anyone watching this video, if I tell you at the start of it, you're really going to enjoy this, then there's more chance you're going to enjoy this video. If I tell you that you're really going to hate this video, you'll probably hate it a little bit more.
It's basic psychology.
It's the same with contest prep. If I tell you, look, this is going to be hard, but it's manageable and you can do your best, and it's about mental attitude, and if you want to suffer, you're going to suffer, but if you want to try and be upbeat and get about your life as best you can and just enjoy the process as much more, that's a much more helpful and useful message than this is going to be hell.
Yeah, because let's just take a look at prep as well. Bodybuilding teaches us shitloads about life, right? Bodybuilding has taught me how to be resilient in some of my life circumstances that had I not had some of the experiences in the gym, training hard, being under the bar, going through a competitive season,
gives you resilience.
I might not have been able to deal with some of those situations. So there is an element of grit and hardship and things you've got to experience through the prep, and we can be ready for that. But Andrew's absolutely right. Why can't we celebrate the guy, and I'm gonna use Andrew as an example here. Why can't we celebrate the person who can go through a hard fucking prep, a really hard prep where we're talking getting to the shredded levels of Andrew? And if you go check him out, and most of you know, he doesn't fuck about. He's getting down to the nitty gritty levels required to be a pro top level natural bodybuilder, which is insane. We're talking nearly 40 weeks of dieting, the same food every single time. Andrew doesn't even take a treat meal. I do. There's differences between our preps. He is probably what you would equate to being your standard bodybuilder. It is the same food, the same time, every day, 7 days a week, 40 weeks of the year to get into his condition. Now, if any one of you have met Andrew Chappelle in the latter stages of his prep, they will tell you, and I'm not saying this because I love with him, every day, and he's my partner and everything else, and we're a team. He is positive. He doesn't allow it to break him. He doesn't allow it to be a suffering, continuous slog. He doesn't wake up in the morning and complain. He doesn't go to work and then perform shit at work because he's tired and hungry. He's decided to bodybuild, but he's got life too, and it's a balance. And he made that decision a long time ago to enjoy the process.
I made that decision. I made a conscious effort to decide, I'm doing this for me, it's my decision, and I can suffer in this if I want to suffer on this. Now, I think it really requires context, and it's all about personality traits in the human condition. You can have, and class dependent as well, because there are degrees of this. If you're getting ready for a local competition and you're a first timer, where people are not expecting you to be a world level shredded muscular competitor, you're not going to get there because
nor should you be pushing somebody to that point when they're in their first season.
They might not be ready for it.
Well, let's take a look at the statistics. First time bodybuilders have not got the muscle mass or anywhere near enough yet. So if you're going to consider taking a first-time bodybuilder to those shredded levels, at what detriment to the physique?
And will they ever bodybuild again?
Will they ever bodybuild again? Are they going to look as good? Are they going to just completely diet off all of their fantastic tissue for the sake of looking like a shredded bean, on stage? It doesn't make sense. And actually, interestingly, on that point, I see huge trends, particularly on Instagram at the moment, of young bodybuilders, first timers, with this mentality, which we're talking about here, which is it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be stressful. I don't see a lot of top experienced bodybuilders complain or kind of showcase this in the trenches feel, which is quite worrying,
because
actually.
The bodybuilders that are more experienced have grown up.
Exactly. I mean, that's obvious, yeah.
And they know that they don't need to be a martyr.
But then, you know, some coaches explaining to their first timers that you're going to feel like this. Why?
So as I was saying, yeah, you've got to realise, right, people are different, right, okay? And if you take just 3 different scenarios here, you can have a person who's getting ready for their first competition. They're a little bit neurotic in their nature, so they complain about a lot of things. They've got a whole load of circumstances going on in their life. And then you give them the contest prep diet to do, and they might absolutely sail through it with no complaints whatsoever. Just get on with it and just do it, right? That happens. You get that all the time, whereas you get someone that you think, okay, this is quite a cheery person, and it might be a complete slog for them the whole way through at all. And then you might get the third person that's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? You just don't know what you're going to be dealing with. But on top of that, you've got different classes.
Yeah, you're not going to tell a bikini girl, it's going to be hell. Like, it's going to be like...
If she's got 2 or 3 kilos to lose to get in her shape, like, why would you give her that talk? Why would you sit down and do that? Like, come on, why does it have to be hell?
It's too generalistic, yeah.
It's far too much of a generalisation, I guess, is what we're seeing here. So context is extremely important for setting the scene for what it's going to be like, and understanding the human condition, that everybody's different and everyone's going to experience things differently to how you've experienced it. And just because you suffered doesn't mean that everyone else is going to suffer.
Yeah.
And projecting that mentality on other people, this sort of hardcore in the trenches things, lacks that sort of understanding of the human condition. It lacks a coaching sort of approach.
It lacks understanding of psychology across general populations.
And as a coach, we should be, at the most times, trying to nurture people and help them reach their potential and help them to reach their goals. And that might mean that sometimes that you have to be a little bit more firm, but on other times that means that you might have to put an arm around the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of coaching.
Putting the person first, putting the person in the centre of the coaching, which is what we're all about.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess what we would say is, I think it's completely one-dimensional. I think it's laughable.
Yeah, I think as well. Let's just take one example just to make it really clear. Client comes, wants to do competition prep. Okay, there is an element of extremity to a competition prep. Are you ready for that?
Extreme sport.
Are you ready for that? Do you know what that entails? This is a conversation that you can have with your client. If they have some information of that already, fantastic. If they don't, you obviously discuss like what it entails and what it's going to mean, and the fact that can actually play a part in potentially knock-on effect to other areas of their life. It might make, you know, things a bit more strenuous with their relationships if somebody doesn't understand the food sort of patterns, etc. There's lots of things that can make it difficult. But these are some of the things that generally across the board we see people experience. Some people find it harder than others. Some people find it a breeze. Some people enjoy the process because it's more routine. Some people find the later stages of prep really hard. Let us give you some examples of character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, give the scenario around all these different personality types, and then let the person go away, reflect on all these things, and when they're entering into that contest phase, they're not primed to feel like they're gonna fucking suffer. You know, they've got an understanding of the general experiences that they may have at some point or another, but they're prepared for that. It's different than going in and saying, you are gonna feel this, and if you don't feel this, then you're not doing it right. And I think that's kind of the moral of everything we're saying in kind of basic format. And as you can see, again, another passionate one from the Chappelle and Noble, but it's something that needs to be addressed. In the coaching world, you know, we're doing our best here with ProPrep to navigate into coaching that is a lot more specific to the individual and really listening to the psychological needs of the client, because I think not enough coaches understand that this is as much of a psychological understanding than it is as it is a physical one. And you need coaches to understand that, especially in this world that we live in now, which is so digital. You know, everyone's got an opinion on everything. You can find so much conflicting information. It's just really important that we actually give a shit about one another. And from a coaching perspective, you've got to care about the person's mental health and well-being and not set them up for a fail.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we'll end on that. I think that's a great point. Okay. All right. So Pro Prep getting ready to sign out here. Check out the website, www.proprepcoaching.com. Check out the Instagram, Pro Prep Coaching. Check out the Facebook, Pro Prep Coaching. And also check out Steph Noble Figure Pro and Fueled by Scott's on Instagram. And
check out Andy's new glasses.
Swoosh. Okay.
So, on that note, if you are wanting any information on what we do, please do look at the website. The one thing we aim, and you'll see this across the board with the people we're working with on Instagram, Facebook, etc., and the clients we've worked with in last year's competitive season and ongoing, is shredded, but shredded in the right way is what we do. So please have a look and check us out. Sustainable bodybuilding. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
More precision, more results. Right, we're out.